go, I release, and I know I forgive, I receive, I can feel, I believe, I am healed, I am whole, I release, I know. No need to push, no need to try, no need to worry or question why. Surrender, let go, release, and know.
Thousands of years ago, the Buddha taught you are what you think.
I am love. I am peace.
I am joy.
I am silly.
I am powerful.
So a modern philosopher coined the phrase that you are what you eat.
I am organic vanilla ice cream.
I'm chia seeds.
I'm a good, strong cup of coffee in the morning.
I am mac and cheese.
Today, like millions of my human sisters and brothers on planet Earth,
I'm becoming mindful about what I eat, what I think.
but lately I've been thinking about this.
I watch what I eat, but do I watch what I watch?
What about what I feed my mind, my heart, and my soul?
At Conscious Good, we believe you are what you watch.
You are what you watch.
Anytime you watch something that causes your soul to hurt, there's an impact.
So what's the answer?
At Conscious Good,
We think it's about feeding our minds the same way that we feed our bodies.
With nourishing choices.
After all, if media can have a negative influence on behavior, it can also have a positive one.
It's been proven that if we watch TV shows and videos about people helping others,
Cooperating and being generous.
It can actually influence us to be more altruistic and kind to one another.
Talk about paying it forward.
So next time you sit down to watch your comfort movie,
consider how you will feel afterwards. Will you be happy and energized?
that's because maybe, just maybe,
What you watch
Read
And listen to.
matters.
I am what I watch, so I watch what I watch.
I am nourished.
I am inspired.
I am enlightened.
I am a celebration.
I am conscious.
I am conscious.
I am conscious.
I am good.
I am good.
I am good.
We
We
We are.
We are
conscious good.
Everyone wishes to live their best life. We experiment with various ways to achieve that, whether it is through study, competing, finding a partner, working hard, or admiring someone who inspires you. It is the quality of our inner being that does it all, or grapples with fulfilling life's calling. For the past 20 years, the Brahma Kumaris in Washington, D.C. has been a space for any and everyone to enter into and experience one's soul calling. From 1997, the center opened in an old rickety house on Georgia Avenue in Silver Spring, Maryland, where cars and trucks that passed by would shake the space. But when you were inside, it was a peaceful and powerful sanctuary for all who visited. Since then, over 2,500 events, 17 city and nationwide initiatives, 21 awards, 2 meditation museums have served youths, senior citizens, entrepreneurs, scientists, authors, women, interfaith, the disabled, environment, small businesses, arts seekers, and even leaders. Millions of lives have been served, either through social media, the popular America Meditating radio show, or through exhibitions, lectures, partnerships, and programs held in the meditation museums and centers. We look at 20 years of service as a continued journey of love, courage, wisdom, and determination with friends from diverse backgrounds and thought, who believe a better world is possible when we make ourselves better human beings. Meditation is an important tool that helps us to gain greater clarity, insights, and inner power so we can make healthy choices and amplify our capacity to live a full life. In times of great anxiety, insecurity, and fear, meditation is an essential practice for everyone to gain stability and inner strength. Just look at what a few dedicated, purposeful, and kind group of committed people have been able to achieve in 20 years. Thanks to everyone who have supported us along the way. And thanks in advance to those who believe in our work and power of intent. Brahma Kumari's Meditation Museums, where peace is inside.
It's Karen Drucker coming to you from San Francisco, California, and I am here to say that I love watching The Next Normal with Sister Jenna. I get transformed, I am inspired, it's deep, it's wise, it's wonderful, just like her. I hope you're watching it too.
Om Shanti, everybody. Happy Christmas, happy holidays. I can't believe it's Christmas Eve. I just can't. Can you believe it's Christmas Eve? Can you all believe it's Christmas Eve? Can you all believe it's Christmas Eve? I can't believe it. Anyway, if you are trying to get us on Meditation Museum YouTube, you're going to have to switch to America Meditating YouTube for, I think, tonight or just or tomorrow. And definitely we're on Facebook, Vimeo, and Twitter. So I'll give you some time to get that together. And I should have actually sent it out to all of our friends. But anyway, I hope everything is well and you're all thriving and life is on the up and up for you. And you are really looking at that part of you that you just know that you need to nurture. Because the more you nurture that deeper part of you, what happens, you see what's happening? 2021 is coming and I'm multitasking. It's not intentional. The fact that 2021 is just a few days away, what's the newness that you want to bring in to your life? We were talking today about just restructuring everything that we've been doing. I was remembering, Santosh, remember when we started Spiritual Vaccine Hour? And then we did that for a few months. And then as we're evolving, we went into, wow, there's so much more going on. There's a next normal. On January 20th, we're going to have a new president. We hope things are going to be as per the system of life. I don't know. Nobody really knows. But that there'll be a lot of changes. And based on the energy of the leadership, the country follows, the market follows, the industries follow, people follow. So imagine the change, just even if this new presidency comes into power on January 20th, and this energy of inclusion and diversity and fair play, transparency, honesty, openness, all of these things are important for a healthy future. They are all important for a healthy future. So what's happening in you that you've been noticing? Some stuff I need to really leave behind right now. And there's certain things that I'm willing to continue to nurture and take with me into my next normal or into the future. Have you given that some thought, everyone? Have you thought about what it is that, you deeply feel like it's time to let that go? Especially in your morning meditations is when things are very, very clear to you, which is why I always stress to individuals, please value your early morning rise. It will set the tone of your mental state during the day. And what I mean by mental state, your ability to see clearer and further, your ability to deal with whatever life has to offer you. It gives you a sense of stability. But it also creates a sense of an openness and an honesty and a trust with yourself when you nurture that early morning hours, because there's something that happens in your consciousness. It's like the first thing you do, you open your eyes, you wake up, it's early in the morning. You can sense how the vibrations are very, very quiet. And in a way, it's symbolic of your own natural sound of your inner silence. And when you are able to be deeply silent, which means no traces of any limited patterns of thinking, any of those thought forms that comes with the energy of doubt or criticism or disappointment or expectation, those thoughts don't come into your consciousness. And if they do when you're in your silent mode, it means that's something that's been holding you back. That's actually signaling to you some messaging. Something is going on. It being Christmas Eve, some of you might be at home with a companion, with a partner. Some of you might be home alone, maybe getting onto your WhatsApp or your Facebook or your Zooms to connect with family or friends. Some of you might be having friends and family coming over tonight. Maybe the tree is up, the gifts are under the tree, but you're also thinking how different it is this year. And what is different about this Christmas Eve? There's kind of a sense of freedom to do certain things that I like doing, or the freedom of having people around that I want to have around me, the freedom of having loved ones gather, around the Christmas tree without a mask, but now they have to gather with a mask, and the numbers have to be less, and there's a kind of a concern, who carries, who isn't carrying. It's a different Christmas. But the irony is, even though this situation is with us, it's a gift in disguise because it is actually inviting us to think differently, to see things differently, to feel things differently. It really is. On many of our shows in the past, I've asked if there's anybody in your life that you feel like you need to release them, you need to forgive them, you need to love them, you need to honor them, whatever it is, because you know that whenever they show up in your consciousness, it creates a resistance in your force field. You feel the resistance in your heart. Your heart immediately, as an organ in your body, it gets constricted. And why the heart gets like that is that there's something happening here at a soul level. So imagine the person or the event emerges in your consciousness, which emerges in your mind. First you see it in your mind. And you start to play back the interaction that you've had with the person, or you begin to think of the person with a particular interpretation that you hold of the person. It's usually something negative about them, something very critical about them. And you start to feel that. And the moment you feel it, if you're not aware that all of that is happening inside of your head, your heart signals to you by getting tight, getting constricted, maybe it even pumps faster. That means something in your thinking isn't healthy. There's some thought form that is feeding the body consciousness, and my organ of the heart feels so tight that I know something's not right in the way I am interpreting you and this. You ever get those gut feelings? You know, a gut feeling something's not right. A gut feeling something's happening. Gut feeling something's about to give. You get it. There's no proof. But you get that gut feeling. Okay, it's the same way when certain thoughts or feelings are going on inside of you. They can signal to you how you're feeling by even connecting to an organ in your system. Because sometimes we're not subtle enough to identify what's happening up here in a thought level. So here's what I'd like to introduce tonight. The whole notion of forgiveness is a big Christmas gift. To be able to firstly forgive yourself for maybe putting your foot in your mouth way too often. Maybe you have to forgive yourself for not paying attention to the signals. Maybe you have to forgive yourself for being too kind. You know, maybe you have to forgive yourself for being too harsh. Maybe you have to forgive someone who wasn't kind or understanding. And wouldn't that be a great Christmas gift to offer yourself? To be able to really be that and do that. So let's go to Karen Drucker and have her give us this wonderful moment together of looking at how we can sort of melodically journey inwards to do some healing in using the quality and the power of forgiveness. Forgiveness on the self and forgiveness with others. Take a deep breath.
I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Mahalo. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Mahalo. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. So sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Forgive me. I forgive you. Will you forgive me? I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I love you. The truth is I love you. I thank you. I love you.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. 3 phrases that can change your life forever. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Imagine expressing and extending that to somebody who, at the moment of them bestowing their sorrow onto you, can you imagine that they can come back to you and just say, this is how I feel, I made a boo-boo. So let this Christmas Eve be one that can offer this gift of really rising above the differences, the disappointments, the confusion of the complexities. We're going to need to definitely have clarity and forthrightedness and confidence and courage and humility. I've been mentioning humility a lot because I've been feeling that 2021, it will definitely be a year that we need to have this energy of humility and compassion and love more and more and more. I mean, we're in this state because of a lack of humility, which, the vices tend to feed more than ever. When there's ego, forget it. Everyone's going to suffer. When there's attachment, there's going to be suffering. When there's greed, did you know that if the top 4% of the people gave money to every person in the world who was poverty-stricken, who could actually feed somebody who isn't going to bed at night and actually take care of them in terms of, let's say, for a year until they get themselves going, they would still remain wealthy people? Don't you find that statistics amazing? That the wealthiest of folks in the world, if they helped the poorest of people in the world, they would still be wealthy. Greed, huh? Now, I'm not saying that they owe anybody anything. They must have performed some kind of karma that warranted them the ability to have that abundance, and they have earned it. They deserve it. Maybe from the outside looking in, we see, oh, you have $100 million. Come on, what's 1 million, right? That's definitely not the attitude. It's more the question to ask them, what do you think you've been doing at a soul level that would attract such abundance in your life? Start to have these kinds of conversations with people. Like we were talking today about how we're going to enter into 2021. What newness do we want to bring in 2021? Are we intending to continue the same way that we've been continuing for the last 9 months? What will be new? What's going to be our next normal for 2021? So amongst ourselves, we're having conversations now about making some changes. Making changes either with the radio show, making changes with the next normal, making changes with Wisest, making changes within ourselves in terms of, trying to come from that place within our own being that can support not just the message, but also the power and the expansion of the message, so that we can benefit the depths and the hearts of people at a very vast level. So Naveen Bhai was showing me something earlier today. By the way, Naveen is here for a week. Yay, the brother who cooks is here. So he was showing me something online about how folks give sessions now, which are just 5 minutes, and that this is just this is the trend, and this is how people's mentality are. It's that they'll scroll through something and they just need 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes to stop and grab it. And I was sharing with Naveen, well, I'm like an encyclopedia. I can sit, have an intimate conversation and moment with you for hours, right? We're like, this is the real deal for us, right? And maybe because we're moving into the AI culture and we're moving into less is more, and we're moving into what is supposed to be, for me, a higher mental place of being, then maybe less is more. Maybe less is more. But as long as you are aware that up here is good, right? So we were talking about this today, and about how such a high number of individuals in the world, they don't want to go deeper into something. And I feel like when we're together, we're building a depth of something more for ourselves, something where we can really be solid, regardless of whatever emotional, relationship, financial tsunami that comes our way. We have that inner stability and that inner strength to go the 9 yards, you know. So we've been having these conversations, and you know, certain things will happen, certain scenes emerge, people will call you, people say things, and you're taking everything as a signal. Maybe we do need to consider that. Maybe we do need to go down that road. Maybe that might be a good suggestion. You know, so always for this upcoming year, or maybe even for the next few days that we have in 2020, try to be very, very open to listening. And when I listen to people, I'll tell you, this is a training I've gotten from my early days in the Brahma Kumaris. When I listen to you, I'm not listening with I, me, or mine. Our training was listen with a plain intellect. Baba will touch you what needs to be done. And so a lot of times people will come and say things and tell you their opinions, and you listen and you become very, very plain. So that's why it's good to keep asking a lot of different ideas, because once you hear all the information, then you sit with that plain intellect. And when Baba's light comes in, Baba's light will pull together all those stories. Baba's light will catch the right answer, and it will emerge through you, and your consciousness will say, I got it. This is what we need to do. A lot of times when we make decisions where there's still that influence of the attachment to our role, our identity, everything, it gets messy. I tell you, it gets super messy, you know, and I think that's where a lot of depression and loneliness is coming from, is that we're so deceived by the outside world. And the fact that they do know how to manipulate the way we should think and the way we must see things. And I think that's all amazing. It amazes me. I think it's great. Like I was telling Naveen and everybody in Santosh, I go, but we genuinely show up every night, you know, and it's just, it's real for us. It's like, it's real. Where the world is concerned, the world might say, I don't have time for this, or give me just 2 minutes, or give me 5 minutes, give me a bullet. Then I'll hear the thumbnail is important, then it has to do this, then you have to do that. And I was like, yeah, I know, I can imagine. But it just goes to show how much we're so conditioned in a way that it still manipulates things. And as much as sometimes if you've got 10 people who can do that, and 10 people are offering something good, and then there might be the 11th person and they're offering something good too, right? But they don't know how to spin it, they don't know how to turn it, they're definitely going to be left behind. So I'm kind of rambling because I'm trying to look for answers too. Like I'm throwing it out there in terms of when you're listening to information or anything, everyone, please trust that in your listening, be very, very detached. Listen with a plain intellect. I remembered when I was a young girl, and I would be given like another advice from my senior yogi. And before she would finish telling me what I needed to correct, I was telling her what I think she needs to hear from me and understand. And she would pause, and she would look at me, and she would say, just listen, no? And I could not get it until I would become quiet and realize that there was so much ego in my listening that I wasn't learning. I just wasn't learning. And so the best way to learn how to listen to grow is to listen with that plain ability. Let me see if I can find the right words to assist. Let's say that as I share with you tonight, you're sitting without any expectations. You're like, let me see what I'm going to learn here. Let me see what'll be new for me. That's like a plain intellect. You're just opened to the process. But then let's say the opposite way. You're sitting and goes, oh, she says that. She said that yesterday too. Oh, well, I think it should be more like this. I mean, does she have the proof that that's really what happened? That's where there's something in the soul's personality. We get so attached to who we think we are that even when other information or knowledge is coming, we will take it with still my understanding, my way. So Reverend Sylvia came by today, and I cooked for everybody. I cooked for Baba first, and everybody benefited from the meal. And we were talking about the origin of mankind, because we were talking about here. I mean, I know these are some of the conversations, but that because I, the soul, have karmically attracted the heritage of half African Caribbean and half Indian, then my hair is very thick and it's curly and it has a different texture than the other hair. So Reverend Sylvia was talking about, well, I have that Native American Indian, and then we ended up talking about Africa and India. The conversation went into where was the origin of civilization. So then I asked, like Aditi and Naveen and Antonia, and Santosh, and everybody says India. Then when I asked Reverend Sylvia, who's an African body, she said, no, it's Africa. And then I asked Kanu, who's an anthropologist. She goes, oh, it's Africa. Data says that. And we were both looking at each other, and we were all laughing. So can anyone tell me, where was the origin of man, Africa or India? And Reverend Sylvia started laughing. She goes, because you asked all the Indians, of course they're going to say that the origin that the origin of man was India. I go, I asked Antonia. She was also okay with it. But the point is, then I started to go deeper into this. You know what Reverend Sylvia said? Why don't you Google it, Sister Jenna? Google will tell you that the origin of man was from Africa. So I said, well, how many remnants are there in the world of African memories of things of Africa? And don't tell me about the slave trade or anything like that. But in Indian culture, we have this legacy of the deities, that there was a particular period of time when there were these human beings with very, very high vibrations called the deities, and they were memorialized and placed in temples. So what if I told you, and this is the whole conversation, you're going to love it where I'm taking this. So she was like, yeah, but of course the Indians would say that. But we're not just Indians, everybody's an Indian. When Christopher Columbus went to discover America or the world, as she said, he went to discover India. He went to look for India, actually. He ended up in North America, and he saw these people there, and he thought they were Indians. So they got Native American Indians. They got that title. So I said, well, who are they? You tell me they didn't come from India? And then we ended up talking on and on. So I says, why didn't he find Africans? Did I ask her? So why didn't Christopher Columbus find Africans when he went to explore the world, since they were the origin of mankind? She went, whoop, like totally quiet. So I thought that was really hilarious. Because when you think about it, right, we can argue all we want about information. But when I go into silence and I ask myself, why is it important for me to know the origin of mankind? I think because it kind of helps me to find clarity about the story and about where I'm fitted in the story, consciously first and then physically. So when I was looking at why is it that when explorers went everywhere else around the world, they didn't bump into Africans. They bumped into Indians. Call them Native Americans, call them this. So what is the real story? Google? Or when I sit in silence and think historically, what could have happened? So the answer came that when the world was one, there was no India, so no one's going to fight with anybody. There was no Africa, no one's going to argue. There was no Middle East, there was no China, there was no Europe, there was no all of that. everything was just one world, one beautiful world. And just imagine if a really massive earthquake takes place and it splits the axis of the earth and things start to separate. If I was living on this part of the land and you were living on that part of the land, and all of a sudden that big shakeup happened and things just split, I'm going to end up just geographically in different places around the world. So maybe Africa, what we call Africa today, maybe India, what we call India today, China, the Middle East. And based on where the land has kind of cropped itself with the rays of the sun, with the temperature, with the climate, my pigmentation, my hair, my culture, everything starts to shape and history starts to unfold. And so I look at that from a level of silence and I say, I don't need to prove if it's blacks or if it's Indians that was the origin of man. What I need to understand for me is where is it that all man originated from? From what level of consciousness? How has that spread out throughout the world where I can see the remnants of that origin? And that's how I would find my answers. So I would get all this information from everyone today. But when I would go into silence, I would just stop there and I would be like, so where is it? And somehow I would get different answers. I'm not going to prove to anybody, scientifically or not, where the first men, Africans or Indians. I'm not here to do that. But in my silence, I just felt like maybe what we call today Africa and India, that particular area on the land, Africa, India, the Middle East, I would say the origin of man came from that area. So whether you want to own it as an African, you want to own it as an Indian, you want to own it as a Middle Eastern, that's entirely up to you. I think it's a waste of time, but I think it's the land that I'm curious about, and the fact that when things break apart and we end up in different places and pigmentation, hair, color, everything changes because of geography, that's fine. But where was the origin of man? So again, I love the conversations that we have, and I would really invite you and your friends and family to really, percolate your intellect, think about these things, and look at them from a deeper perspective and not just from the ego of your intellect. The sense that I know, I'm right. You're not right, I'm right. I mean, I just loved Reverend Sylvia's expression. Sister Jenna, if you ask all the Indians where the origin of man is, if it's from India, of course they're all going to say yes. And I was looking at Sylvia and I go, I know, and the pigmentation of your skin says Africa, right? So practice listening with a quiet intellect, with a detached intellect, with an intellect that's connected to Baba. And you'll find some incredible answers will come up for you. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying our chit-chat tonight for our little Christmas Eve discussion by the Christmas tree, by the fireplace, and just time together, just intimately, one-on-one. You ready for a little meditation? Let's take it down a notch and let's go inwards. As I sit here in quiet reflection, I'm reminded how my thoughts create my reality. I've accepted that I am what I am because of what I think. So what if for this moment I choose to let go of my various attachments to physical forms that have limited my potential and my capacity? What if I chose to be free from limitations of thinking?
So just for a little while, I invite you to take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And imagine for a moment, what if I no longer had an attachment to my name? How would that feel? What if I let go of the awareness of the gender? What if I let go of the roles that I play, the titles that I own? What if I decided to release thinking of myself as a religion, a language, a nationality? What if I choose to just let go of the name, gender, role, title, religion, language, nationality, and let go of the awareness of the body? How would I feel? Who would think of me in this awareness? And who would I think of? I would think of God. And God's remembrance would fall on me. And I, the living soul, would be completely free. Let me just sit in this moment for a little longer. And just be free. Now gently bring back the awareness of your gender, language, nationality, title, role, name, religion, whatever. Bring it back to your awareness and see if you can bring the experience of freedom and peace as you go out into the world and play your various parts. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome back. You know, it's one of my favorite meditations. I really, really like it. So we're continuing our conversation about the importance of listening, you know, with a plain intellect, and to surrender to that habit, that idea of always thinking that you know more, the I, me, and the mind. And I know it sometimes requires a lot of trust and faith to simply
surrender to what you're accustomed to knowing. What happens is that we eventually really have to dig a little bit deeper. And when I say dig deeper, it means to not keep feeding the thoughts from the surface. Surface thinking is connected to your five senses, your physical world, which in some sense is a very limited one. So if whenever you're listening, especially when it's something really, really vital, and you're listening to it from that sense of yourself, the physical sense, the limited self, you probably might be missing 90% of the meaning of why that information has come in front of you at that particular time in your life. And you might even just get used to only taking the 10% of it and thinking that's the best thing ever. And in reality, it was just 10%. There's 90% more of deep meaning waiting for you to start to value. So listen with I guess you can say, like, listen with humility, listen with a surrendered intellect, listen with a plain intellect, listen with the intent, I can't wait to learn something more. We lose nothing when we learn something new. Nothing. We actually gain everything when we're learning something new. All right, because it's Christmas Eve, on Wisest I generally read a sort of a story, like a blessing for everyone. And I want to be able to share this with you. It's from a blessing book that we have all the time. The blessing today for you. May you be an embodiment of light. And through your elevated stage, show the elevated destination to souls that are lost. Just as moths are automatically drawn to physical light, so too, souls who are lost will very quickly find you, the sparkling stars. For this, you need to practice seeing your sparkling star in the center of the forehead of each one. While seeing a body, don't focus on the body. Let your vision always fall on the sparkling light of that one. When this spiritual vision of yours naturally becomes part of your elevated stage, all the souls who are lost will begin to find their true destination in life. And the slogan, in order to experience the stage of a carefree emperor, transform the attitude of mine into yours. Wow. Wasn't that beautiful, everyone? Wasn't that lovely? That's your Christmas Eve blessing and gift for today. So, I'll do a shout out online. I know we're tuning in on America Meditating YouTube, so that will be nice. Make sure you all sign up and share it with your friends as well. I believe we'll go back on to Meditation Museum by the 1st of January, so we'll have some newness already taking place. So Nancy, welcome, blessed life, Louise, Grace, Om Shanti. So Grace is remembering everybody. Ocean of love to you too, Grace. Abby, you agree it's your soft spot to land at 6:30? Yes, yes. Asmita in India, Om Shanti, welcome. Carlene, nice to have you. Divyani, Om Shanti, Divyani. Good evening to you there in India. You and Asmita should get together since you're both in India together. I don't know what part you're in. Hello, Chandra, Kumari, Casey, the one who says she's connected to Baba. Stay connected to Baba. Don't let Baba go. Abby, I still remember your dance moves on Diwali Dance. Oh, by the way, I have finally got to speak to Louis today, our brother Louis Gossett. So he's out of the hospital and he's mending and he's doing better, and he's basically saying, I'm just ready to be of service. So keep sending him lots of your light and lots of your love so that he can be more of service. Hello, Wilma. ¿Cómo estás in Colombia? Bharti Ben, Om Shanti. Nice to always have you. Parveen, Shobha Ben, Om Shanti. Om Shanti, everyone. So Indu Ben, Om Shanti. All right. If anybody has any thoughts, ideas, feel free to send those in. Divyani, you're in Bhopal. Wonderful. Asmita, you're in, is it Pune? Are you in Pune? Asmita, or Maharashtra? You're in Indore. Okay, well, you guys can connect and at least connect on phone. I'm sure it'll be a nice connection with both of you together, or email. So, Merry, Merry Christmas to all of Baba's angels, to Baba's very, very special souls out there. May this Christmas be one of deep, deep light reflection. Like a coming home. Like, let this Christmas be a coming home to yourself. And you've just finally found your comfort, your truth, your love, your power. That it's just naturally you. And that it just can't be hidden. You know? It's just you, Baba, and your bright future. And there's nothing else. Okay? All right, so thank you so much, guys, for joining in today and adjusting with us on our YouTube. And keep in touch. If there's anything that you need, don't hesitate to reach out. And a very, very, very safe, warm, loving, happy, elevated, powerful, powerful Christmas to each and every one of you. Lots of love. Take care. Hi everyone, it's Sister Jenna from America Meditating Radio. I hope you've been enjoying Wise-ish, which you can get live on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45. But you can also get it on demand 24/7. It's going to be your power boost for the morning. It's your daily dose for the soul. It's just going to encourage you to make the day that much more valuable. So join us. Looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for